sue her. Seriously, just sue her. Think about this. Because her business acumen is so pathetic, because she has been completely unable to do the most basic due diligence, we now have a Spanish town and hard-working business people in New York who have put everything into as ever, now being completely screwed over. Because once again, Meghan Markle has to make it all about her, has to cut corners, think she's better than everyone else. And I say enough is enough. So if you're not following this story, let me just fill you in. Meghan has, of course, overnight made the desperate decision to all of a sudden say everyone following American Riviera Orchard is now going to have to follow as ever, and claims that she's had this all set up from 2022. But this is just another lie, because now we have a Mallorcan town, Porreres, considering legal action and calling for the removal of the logo for as ever, because yet again, it's been completely copied. I mean, look at the side by side. It is a total rip-off. And I support Francesca Mora Veni, the mayor, who is making this call, given that the Porreres badge dates back to 1370 and the as ever Meghan badge dates back to, well, let's be honest, 2 days ago. The mayor said, we don't want it perverted. And she's quite right, 655 years old. She added to the Sun, we don't want our coat of arms to be perverted because it belongs exclusively to Porreres. The only difference with their logo and our coat of arms is that theirs shows 2 hummingbirds and in ours are either swallows or pigeons. Historians can't agree. We will ask Meghan to release the logo, to remove the logo from their website. Well, good luck with that. Good luck with that, because we know Meghan doesn't give a damn. She does not give a damn about anyone other than herself. Then you've got the as ever business in New York. And as Princess Carparkle put it, the original as ever post on Instagram, this is so messed up, so typical of Meghan Markle. They've been around for 12 years, and now some Timu royal wannabe steals their name. Shame on you, Meghan. And here is the post, by the way, from As Ever, the original As Ever, the real As Ever, which we should all be supporting. They say, I want to say thank you to all the old friends who know and love our small family brand As Ever, and also say hi to all of those that have become aware that we exist in the last 36 hours. We are not affiliated. This venture started back in 2015, and I feel absolutely devastated for them, because you just know Meghan will do absolutely nothing about it. As Lady Colin Campbell put it, I am sickened by the way Meghan Markle feels entitled to step all over others as she scales the ladder for ever more infamy and fortune. Is she planning to flush, as ever, down one of the 16 lavatories she has a need for in Montecito? So full of the brown stuff is she? Are he and his wife, Astrid Dahl, who started their fashion venture in 2015 and have had it officially up and running since 2017, now supposed to change the name of their established brand and slink into the shadows because the bully in high heels, as Vanity Fair have called her, has proven yet again how incompetent she is by choosing a name that is either not suitable or then outright theft of an existing brand? Why is it that everything that woman does somehow tramples on the rights of others? Just how is Netflix going to keep subscribers on side when that company affiliates itself with someone whose incompetence and disregard for the rights of others are exceeded only by her hypocrisy and pretentiousness? So I say sue, because let's just remember Meghan Markle is a woman who loves using lawfare herself, who loves dragging others through the court. Well, the time has come for her to experience a little taste of her own legal medicine. Let me bring in the royal YouTube sensation, according to Taz now. Taz, I'm just so brilliant to see you, but I'm just so angry about this because her project is such a mess. Yet again, she has to drag others down.
It's not surprising that this has turned into a complete chaotic release. Everything she does seems to be just chaos. She is the Duchess of disaster. As you said, even basic due diligence should have shown that this logo, it already existed. I mean, obviously at some point she's seen it and thought, oh, what a great idea. But this is nothing new with Meghan. She is a bulldozer. She has had trademarking issues with American Riviera Orchard, with Archwell, with Archetypes. You name it, every venture that she's done, even Sussex Royal, if you remember when that came about, they stole that off of an Instagram user, some football fan, and he logged onto his account and it was gone. They had changed it. Meghan, I remember when Harry said, what Meghan wants, Meghan gets, and it's about time that people turned around and said, that is not happening this time.
I couldn't agree more. If only they had listened to the late Queen, who actually warned everyone, including Harry, by saying, no. Meghan doesn't get what she wants. She gets what I give her. That was, of course, in regards to Tiaragate, before she even married into the family. Then, of course, you have the video itself, which was a pack of lies announcing this release. And I think it is really worth looking at the journalist Annabelle Fenwick Elliott and her take on this. And then I'll get you to react off the back, Tash.
You can think of this video as like a masterclass in being insufferable. No one does it better on the planet, I'm convinced. First, the opening shot.
It's recording.
Okay. This is Meghan's way of A, getting Harry into the videos in some small way, and B, to show you that she's so relatable. Her husband is like holding her phone for her.
Cat's out of the bag. I'm shocked we've kept this a secret for so long.
Spoiler alert, this video is about jam. She's shocked she kept this a secret. What is so shocking about keeping the name of a jam secret?
In 2 weeks, my show is coming out, which I'm so excited for.
Me too, Meghan, me too.
My business, which I think there's been a lot of curiosity about.
I wouldn't say there's been a lot.
Last year, I had thought, you know what, American Riviera, that sounds like such a great name.
American Riviera is a terrible name, Meghan. It's too long, it's too wanky, there's nothing catchy about it.
It's my neighborhood, it's a nickname for Santa Barbara.
Oh, it's a nickname for your neighborhood, now I get it.
But it limited me to things that were just manufactured and grown in this area.
Back on track, ladies and gentlemen, she's appealing to the world again.
Then Netflix came on, not just as my partner in the show, but as my partner in my business. It was huge. So I thought about it, and I've been waiting for a moment to share a name that I had secured in 2022, and this is the moment.
This is the moment.
And it's called As Ever.
As ever.
As ever essentially means as it's always been.
Does it, Meghan? Does it really? Thank you for explaining that to me. I now understand. Is she just going to use twatty email sign-offs now to meme every single brand that is incoming? With love, Meghan. That's her show. As ever. That's her jam. Pretty twatty.
I have to laugh. Well done, Annabelle Fenwick Elliott. But there's some really serious points there, aren't there, Tash?
Oh, she was fantastic. I saw this last night, and honestly, just even then, my mascara's running again. She does pull her apart, but she is saying what we are all thinking. She's like that little head in people's voices when Meghan starts talking. It is unbelievable the way that she's, again, as I said, it's the chaotic. She seems almost neurotic in this video. You can also see when you watch the video in its completion, the amount of cuts and angles of Meghan. She changes where she's sitting, she changes the position that she's in, the background changes. She must have filmed this multiple times, like we've seen with all of her other basic put together videos that she's released. So it just goes to show that this is not off the bat whatsoever. There's nothing candid about this moment of, oh, cat's out of the bag, I just wanted to share it with you. This is damage control, because she got outed yet again because she has done absolutely no due diligence. And people on social media, Meghan wanted everybody to watch her. Now everybody is watching her, and everybody is ready and waiting in the wings to pick her up when she does something like this.
Very true. Very, very true. Tash, you've also noted something odd going on with Meghan's hands. Explain this, Tash.
It's just baffling to me. I don't really know what she's doing. It's obviously hammy acting. I would say this is D-list acting. It's that hand on the face, to look surprised, to look shocked. You know, when she walked into a room in her house, she was so shocked to see the Billie Eilish stuff that she'd ordered already and waiting. And okay, she might have got a member of staff that collected it off the postman and they folded it up for her and she didn't know, but she did know. And it's the shock. And the same thing with this video as well. It's like, Netflix are working with me. And it's always the ring hand. So there's a bit where there was lots of rumours to do with, obviously, where she and Harry are separating. She's had a lot of work done on that ring and she really wants to show it off. And obviously Diana's tank watch, even though Meghan's got one very similar herself. And she just shows off that particular, that's the pinky ring, sometimes gets an outing, sometimes it's the diamond, the blood diamond, and other times it's this new latest one that she's had done. But it could be both. It could just be that she's trying to show off, yes, I'm still married, look, I've still got everything. Or it's just her, as I said, with her hammy acting. But it is being picked up by lots of people. Whenever Meghan is doing any sort of video, it's it's hammy acting. That's what I'm putting it down to.
But first, don't eat breakfast until you learn about caloric bypass. Because your breakfast is setting you up for the entire day to either gain weight or lose it. The term breakfast, think about this, literally means to break your fast that you started the night before. About 4 hours after you eat dinner, your body switches from the nutrients we get from food to the stored glycogen we have in our bodies. Once glycogen stores are depleted, typically after about 8 to 12 hours of fasting, the body shifts to burning fat for energy. Fatty acids are released from fat stores where they are converted into ketone bodies through a process called ketogenesis. Then, when you eat your breakfast in the morning, the body starts that whole cycle again. So this is where the caloric bypass comes into play. Dr. Gundry, a heart surgeon in California, learned that if you break your nightly fast with something called MCTs, or medium-chain triglycerides, you can actually keep burning fat throughout the day and use it for energy. But there are specific types of food that contain these MCTs. Using this breakfast breakthrough, he was able to lose 70 pounds just through diet, and check it out, he did it in his 60s. So you can find out all about it and his exact method by going to thehealthyfat.com/outspoken. That's thehealthyfat.com/outspoken, or you can just click on the link in the description box below, or by using the QR code, which is on the screen if you're watching on YouTube or Rumble. It is important to remember that everyone's body processes fat differently, and it all depends on your unique metabolic type, which is why in the video he released for my special viewers, he talks all about it. It really is quite fascinating and might change the way you think about health. Go to thehealthyfat.com/outspoken or click on the link in the description box below. But now, back to the show. Even the mainstream media has no time for this, Tash. The Daily Mail says why Meghan Markle's messy rebrand raises questions. And then The Spectator, a very popular article, does anyone buy Meghan's sweet tooth? And in this article, they write, if we are exposed to Meghan's nonsense for much longer, I fear that our collective brain cells will swiftly rot away. And Alexander Lerman adds, we are promised or threatened that there will be items for sale that the Duchess likes to use in her own home. But of course, there will be fruit preserves. Phew, for a minute I was fearful at the potential absence of as ever branded strawberry jam. The no doubt lucrative tie-up with Netflix will give the product range a global push that will undoubtedly mean that a supermarket or convenience store near you will feature Meghan's sure to be ubiquitous. Sorry. I'm going to say that word, produce on its shelves, perhaps with a picture of her grinning away on the front. If such things strike you as the stuff of nightmare, then bad news. The insatiable one has managed to turn potential failure and disaster into yet another opportunity to torment us all, and the results will be, as ever, you might say, immensely challenging all over again. But Tash, I disagree with that. So I actually believe that this Netflix deal is a sham. It's a face-saving exercise that has been provided to her by Ted Sarandos, because we're told that this product will end up in the bricks and mortar Netflix stores. Well, there's only going to be a couple of them, and they're novelties. And Netflix, even though they are a huge company, does not have the infrastructure to start rolling out Meghan Markle's jam in supermarkets. It ain't happening.
No, of course it's not. I mean, I've had a look at where they've done the mini pop-ups of what is going to eventually turn into these, these flagship stores that are going to be starting off in the malls in America. And, that they're popular shows. It's merchandise from things like the Squid Games and Stranger Things. These are well-established shows because you want people that are fans of these shows that have been running for years. They want the merchandise. They want what people are selling because they love the shows, and people do not want what Meghan is selling because Meghan isn't selling anything other than herself. I mean, she can't even get jam made. It's not even being made. So again, in that video, she makes a point. I think it was a little bit of clapback where she said, I was going to go for RO, but then, produce had to be made locally. And it's like, well, I thought you were making it locally with your fair hands from your own garden, Meghan. So obviously now she's like, oh, well, I can't really do that. And the Daily Mail did an investigation and they contacted all of the fruit farmers, apparently, in Montecito and the larger areas of California. And nobody has a clue where Meghan's going to be getting her jam from. And I'm sorry, there's just not going to be people that are excited to go to these Netflix stores that want to grab Christmas presents or presents for their kids or cool T-shirts to wear. And then they think, oh, I know what to do. I'm going to get some dog biscuits and some jam. You just wouldn't.
No way. You absolutely wouldn't. Then, of course, we have the fact that Prince Harry, the man baby and now official social media assistant to the Duchess of Sussex, had to be dragged into this video. He's cucked. I mean, this is really, really embarrassing for him, Tasha, especially given we know that he didn't approve the Valentine's Day release of, firstly, the awful PDA picture to prove that everything's okay, even though we had a really difficult time at the Invictus Games and I had to be sent home. And then specifically the pimping out of the two so-called children in the video, which go against everything he has ever argued for in terms of privacy, in terms of exploiting children on social media. I mean, it's astonishing, isn't it, that he is allowing himself to be embarrassed in this way.
It was one thing for the romantic smoochy picture of those two that someone's taken, obviously the other side of the dinner table. But this actually, I'm not surprised because we are beginning to see Meghan involve the children with her Instagram venture. Aside from that first video that we saw of her skipping gaily along the beach and writing 2025 in the sand again, we've had a lot more footage of the children, unseen footage. We heard them singing in the Guy video. And now, of course, we've got this. And Meghan is using the children as props. When you look, she's using the Philadelphia strawberry spread. Then she's making strawberries look like love hearts. She's got a love heart necklace on, which she's also been merching recently. And the plates have got love hearts on. But Archie is dressed in red pajamas. The little girl, reportedly or not reportedly, Lily, is wearing love heart pajamas herself. So she's dressed the children to match all of the aesthetics for what is meant to be a cute moment of someone who's in the kitchen filming all of this, but she's dressed the children as props to match all of the Valentine's stuff. And that to me just shows that she is using the children, which, as you said, I find this even shocking for Harry, that he is allowing her to do that.
But I don't think he is. That's the issue. I don't think he is. I think she was, well, I think she
But
was
he's
so...
not going to stop her.
No, I think he was so furious, though. Sorry, she was so furious about the fact that she wasn't wanted for the rest of the Invictus Games that she knew it was the perfect day to be able to do it. And then she could just pretend that everything was okay by posting another story on Sunday when the games ended saying, I'm so proud of my man. But there's no way he would approve of any of this. The fact is he isn't stopping it, though, and that's really bad. I also wanted to pick up on, Tash, this
That's
use...
creepy.
Yeah, totally. I really wanted to pick up on, though, the use of this phrase, love wins, on the Valentine's Day post, because you wrote on X WTF, love wins. No one was against you. Everyone wished them well. They had an unbelievable outpouring of love, goodwill, and support from our country, from royal fans, from the public, and more importantly, from Harry's family. They decided to torch all of it and play victim. And I thought it was so fascinating that in her desire to be a victim, she is now suggesting that this love story is somehow against the odds, that somehow she wasn't supported, which is absolute baloney. And it does sort of show me she has a scary ability to rewrite history. I mean, this is very sociopathic.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. We have really seen her encourage Harry to do the same when it comes to rewriting history. But with this is all in the narrative of they escaped the palace. Everybody was against them. They managed to, under the cloak of night, they escaped with their lives. And this was only a narrative that started not when they left the royal family. We had a whole year before that nonsense started. And this is where people maybe not be so aware of it that have come into this drama later on. Meghan and Harry, the Queen gave them a year. There were no stories of racism, no stories of cruelty, Meghan being left to fend for herself. This was all something that once the Queen turned around and said, your year's up, the Sandringham Summit, you can't have what you want, that's when they did it. And it's been one big revenge, clapback storyline ever since. But Meghan is still continuing it. Love wins. That did, as I said, WTF, because I was like, I'm so sick of this, because people were rooting for them. All everybody wanted, or anybody wanted rather, was for Harry to be happy, because they wanted to see him as happy as Prince William is, obviously, with Catherine and their lovely family. And it's been drama with that woman since the day she got her toe past Kensington Palace gates.
Yes, it has. And also, can I just point out, what type of love story is it, Tash, when while you're still married, you are getting your agents to shop around a post-divorce book? Like, does she think we are dumb? I knew she was doing that for a long time, but the fact that even the mainstream media is reporting that, and Vanity Fair now, shows that she does not believe in this marriage. So when she uses a term like love wins, it is to present a victim narrative, to try and make this some sort of David versus Goliath battle, when indeed I think she's doing as much as anyone to cause the end of this marriage. We know it's been through huge difficulties, massive strains. We saw that again at Invictus. But of course, Harry ideally wants to make it work, but her constantly defying him, embarrassing him, undermining the passions that he has shown over the past few years, even though I completely disagree with what those passions are, it's certainly not doing anything to allow love to win.
No, Meghan is a destructive force. She has been from the moment, as I said, she got her toe through the gates at the palace. And you can see that she does a lot of things that are going against what hers and Harry's, I suppose, the story that they've tried to push. That social media is an evil thing. Oh, please follow my wife on social media. Social media is dangerous for children, not our children. No, we want to encourage people to come onto social media to watch it. And it's just every, I guess, narrative that they've tried to push. A few weeks later, they've kind of undone it all, really. They've got no path, they've got no direction. And Meghan, as I said, she can't even stick to the things that she and Harry have built, the last reinvention of them as a couple. She can't keep it going. She changes her mind all of the time of what she's doing, and then she'll do one ridiculous stunt after another. And it's this whole thing, like, with the children, all these years of wanting them to be private citizens. One minute they're calling them the prince and princess, taking the titles when it was meant to be the children that were allowed to choose. And then she's using the children to get people traffic to her Instagram account. They just really are hypocrites. They've got no substance.
No, you're completely right. You are completely right. I do want to show the other side, Tash, and just get you to respond, because we know the Sussex squad, who I have exposed as the most evil gang of trolls in the history of the internet. They're still at it. They're still at it. They still want to turn this into a race issue specifically. But look, this is their current narrative. And I think it's worth me showing you and then getting you to respond to what their argument is.
The only reason these people hate Meghan Markle is because she is living their dream, their Delulu-ass dream of marrying a prince. And what makes it worse for them is that she's a black woman. A beautiful-ass black woman.
Tash.
Time and time and time again, this is rinse and repeat. It's never been about race. This is a subject that it makes me so angry because it's just ridiculous. The race card has expired. I mean, there's so many black women and men out there that call her out the same. There's lots of people that are now commentators, successful YouTubers that got a huge following that are black themselves, and they call Meghan out for the exact same things that everybody else does. It is her personality, it is her behavior. This is just a card that people whip out to say that she's not allowed to have any criticism. And it's just expired. It's boring. It's so honestly beyond its sell-by date at this point.
Of course, Tash, because look at the celebrities who want nothing to do with her now. Beyonce, Oprah Winfrey, Gayle King, Megan Thee Stallion. It's not just white girl Taylor Swift who turned down her invitation. It's because she has become toxic. Also, this idea that it's the dream of Meghan's critics to marry a prince. I mean, I don't know about you, Tash, but that's my idea of hell. I mean, I don't at all think the life of Catherine or any of the princesses in the past, Sophie, Fergie, Diana, has been easy at all. It's really difficult to marry into that family. But remember, it was Meghan's dream. She was the one who would do anything to chase down that dream. I mean, look, to be honest, she would have been happy with a D-list British celebrity. But when royalty became a possibility for her, nothing was going to stop that dream being fulfilled.
No, Meghan indeed wanted to be a princess, but a Disney princess. I know there's lots of stories that have come out where Meghan wanted to step into the role of Diana. She didn't want to step into the role that Diana played. She wanted the glitz and glam. She only wanted one side of it. She saw being a princess and marrying a prince, she gets to flounce around in designer ball gowns, people giving her freebies, she gets to wear tiaras, everybody claps and applauds and cheers her. But there is a dark side to being someone that is so famous, and obviously with royalty, they are famous, but it's different, isn't it? It's not the same as being a celebrity, but it's a gilded cage in many ways. And Catherine and William have, I think, become one of the most normal couples in the modern generations of the royals, where they manage it completely differently. But for Meghan to have expected it to all be diamonds and parties and adoration shows she has an unrealistic view on life and what it was to be a royal. You have to work. You have to highlight other people. You have to bring attention to causes. Yes, you can bring attention to some of the causes that you also agree with, obviously remaining neutral when it comes to politics. But Meghan was very self-centered. Meghan wanted it all about her, and that's why it went catastrophically wrong.
Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.